All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of Gar Capital. It is Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. Glad to be with you this morning on a short holiday week and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when the stock market's open. So just a reminder, no morning note, no video or anything like that on Thursday since it's Thanksgiving. But I will be on Friday for Black Friday. The market is open until 1 then. So glad to be with you. Let's go ahead and start off with economic reports that we have. We have existing home sales at 10 a.m. and FOMC meeting minutes at 2. Meeting minutes are just the kind of the written detail or written account from the FOMC members of the last meeting where we didn't get a hike. We just didn't do anything. It was a pause, at least for this cycle. Back at it this morning. Dow futures 35,146, Nasdaq pulling back to 16,000, S&P 500 4547 down 0.32%, the Russell down about 0.76% at 1798. The dollar index 103.32, that's down this morning as well. The VIX is up 1.49%, not much, 1361. 10-year treasury yields are up marginally, 4.430. Crude oil is pulling back 77.33. $2.18 for gasoline futures. Gold futures are up 1%. We talked about that yesterday. I got stopped on my gold at 1970, and of course, it bounces the next day. Silver futures 23.85 up 1%. Copper down 0.33%. Good morning, Benjamin. Carlos, can the market please bleed all day today? Well, we'll go over that here in a second. Euro dollar up 3 pips, 109.45. 147.64 down 81 pips for dollar yen. Dollar Canadian dollar, 137.05 down 23 pips. Pound dollar up 35 pips, 125.40. Bitcoin is down 1.6%, and Ethereum still above 2,000 on the future side at 1.72% to the downside. Good morning, everybody. This is the chart of the S&P 500 spot. This is not futures. This is the spot index. And I brought up RSI to talk about overbought and oversold conditions, as said on the headline or the title of the video. And you could see this blue line here, really from the peak, 48.18, where we came back down here to July's highs to where we are now. So we do need this to break. Could we get a little bit of a pullback? I thought we would get a little bit of a pullback yesterday. Remember, I was short futures, and we continue to run. 71.56, we have been higher on RSIs, not like we haven't. 76 we've done before, and I highlighted them in these little bubbles here to show you guys the price action when this happened. You could see overbought. We pulled back. We're up from 44.46 to around 43.20, about 120 points. And then we bounced again. So we could still get another leg higher, but short term, it's looking like we might get a pullback, Benjamin. We might. Depends. Let's take a look at NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ futures look a little better, obviously. Nvidia reports this week. I think they report today. Let me make sure that they report today. Let's see, watch this in charts. Or was this? No, this is on the earnings calendar, excuse me. Nvidia does report today after the bell. It did hit all-time highs yesterday, so just keep that in mind. But you could see that NASDAQ, again, still breaking out here. I still think we have more ways to go, but S&P possibly looking like it's a little overbought. NASDAQ is hitting its head on that overbought level. So again, we've been there and we've broken above that. Same thing, but SPX is very concerning because that is right there. You need to break what, 45.70. Let's make sure 45.70 breaks on SPX spot. SPX spot closed yesterday 45.47. So 45.70 is what we need, I believe, to clear on that end. If we need to go on S&P 500, I drew the same trend line. We need to get above 4,600 or so to get there. So 4,600 would be our next resistance here on S&P 500 futures. Does this give us a shot to short or anything like that? It's difficult because you're starting to get some that just consistent buying. Could be buybacks. It could be anything. It could be short squeezing. No real way to actually tell. But I'm going to remove this RSI here and apply. Okay. So again, We are pulling back. Yes, we did have a great day yesterday as well. So a little bit of a pullback, cool down on overbought conditions. We talked about that before. The question is when. And holding on to puts just to wait for that is a very tough trekking experience to say the least. So again, it's going to be step by step as we go. I have Citibank. I have Disney calls. Disney moved up yesterday. Citibank, I saw some unusual options activity. There is a gap to fill to the upside that I'm looking to fill right around 45.52. We are holding the 200-day at least over yesterday. Overnight, we are pulling back, but we had the same thing yesterday with Disney, and then it did bounce. So again, no real tech exposure really this week. We did catch Palantir yesterday, and I'm glad we did because we are pulling back a little bit. We had the 23 calls for 2 weeks from now. I started to notice that a lot of the expiries that have the volume is for December 15th. That's the OPEX day. So I went ahead and typed that up on the live market blog as well. Take a look here. Uh, Let's see. Slow melt up. We talked about the holidays. Where did I type that? That's U.S. demand. I know I wrote that here. Here we go. 4,500 spot, not futures above 45.50. This was written as a big gamma spot, as where maybe heavy resistance. Thank you, dollar. And we broke above that on the S&P 500 index, and then we pulled back a little bit. So that could be a call wall. That could be where you get a little bit of reprieve, a little bit of a breathing room. That's completely natural and completely normal. Again, it's a short week. Let's not push the risk, right? Most of the positions I have in terms of options are for next week. One is for next week, one is for the week after. So I can sit back and kind of relax a little bit, see this action just kind of churn. You don't have to do something every day, guys. You really don't. Take your time. We haven't broken anything yet. Yes, pull back on futures. That just shows you how high we went yesterday. So again, the buying has been rather relentless. I mean, we've just been waiting for some kind of pullback. No dice as of yet. We'll see if we get it today. Carl, can we chart coin levels to add? I was watching coin yesterday. I saw some volume for December 15th as well. I think the 115s or 120s, a little pricey. Getting a pullback here. If you're looking at just buying Coinbase itself, oof, there is a gap to fill here at 79.31. Your breakout level here is 85.55. You need to go ahead and actually clear this at 116.16, and then we could talk, because then we could target 200, 176 or so. And I don't know, there's a gap fill here. That probably filled. There was a gap to fill at 220. So let's clear 116.16. I'd rather see we get the momentum higher. Should we get a pullback? Sure. But again, if you're buying Coinbase, more than likely you're just trying to swing the stock, or you're trying to get a big Bitcoin proxy. I think coin looks the best, but owning Bitcoin is another way to do it as well. Let's take a look at Google. Google still needs to get above here, right around 144. You can actually get above 142 and target 144. Maybe play the run up a little bit, but we need to break that up. And it doesn't look that great because we do have a gap to fill here at 134.30. Heaven knows if we fill that, we could see what we could do there. And we have another one below that here at 127.73. And then another one here at 113.58. I expect Google to go higher with the NASDAQ. Maybe a little bit of a pullback, retest the 50, but 142.26 is what I see, at least in December. Let's take a look at Mara, another name that we trade very often. Of course, it goes in the money after we closed it 2 weeks ago. Why not, right? So I have a level above 12. If we get there, I would target 13. That clears the 100-day moving average. If you're talking about trying to buy the dip, I think your best bet is to kind of just wait until you actually get clearance of moving averages before you start messing around this jumbled here of the 200, the 20, and the 50. So I'd rather have confirmation for more upside instead of waiting to catch some kind of falling knife either as well. So there we go. Let's go and bring up the Qs. Remember, the Qs hit the new 52-week highs. That looks beautiful. We do have a gap to fill at 378.51. If we break below 382.91, maybe we take a look. But again, guys, it is a short week. We have FOMC meeting minutes. You don't have to do anything. Let's make that clear. You don't. If you want to short, be my guest. Just buy time. That's all I'm saying. Buy time. Do not do it for this week. You're literally playing roulette. And as we know with roulette, there's not only just red and black colors, there's green, which is 0 and 00. And that's exactly what it means when you run out of time with your option. When you have that theta burn all the way through because you just get chopped around. Top of the morning, NV. Disney thoughts. Yes, I still have Disney calls. Again, we're still looking for this gap fill here to 100. Waiting for the next break of 96 and 61. That would confirm it. I think that would be it. But you could see right above 94. That's your level of resistance that we played the breakout from the June highs. The only downside risk is, of course, another gap to fill from earnings. Not exactly earnings day, but after. I believe this is CPI. The CPI gap up 91.50. So again, that is some downside risk. Also got some more downside risk at 84.97. Also got some more downside risk at 83.34. Those are all gaps to be filled if they even do. But I expect the 100 to come through, and then let's see if we can continue above. So I also have Citibank calls as well, playing a little bit of banks here. They've been doing great price action lately. Again, we're above the 200-day, expecting this 46.79 gap to fill. That's for 2 weeks from now. So I'm not too worried about that looking at it. We were green yesterday, but we caught Palantir, which was important. I'm glad everyone got at least something for the Thanksgiving week, if not just for the day. We'll see if we get anything today. But again, lower your expectations. Maybe we get a little bit of volatility with the FOMC meeting minutes. Who knows? I don't know what kind of language they're going to use. But again, looking at the totality of things, we're still holding 45.50. And we should be down more, in my opinion. On a short week, again, volumes are going to sink. I expect us to at least have some kind of pullback. I have been trying to short it, but it is not easy to short a bull market, guys. It just doesn't work as easily as you think. Playing that counter trade. That's why momentum is just easier. You're just riding the wave. Trying to pinpoint a reversal is one of the most difficult things to do. But again, I do expect with these overbought conditions, we even talk about oversold conditions. Another one that is in oversold conditions is the dollar. So again, we know that correlation, the dollar and the S&P 500. Let's see if we go to add studies, we go to momentum, we'll go to RSI. Let's go to the daily. Yeah, you're at oversold conditions on the daily. If you remember, we talked about this in July. We were getting to oversold conditions. So let's see what the dollar does. Does it have a little more room? I doubt it. If the dollar does bounce, again, it would just be a relief bounce. We talked about this in July. So again, do I think someone should take their profits? No, I think December we continue to go higher. Go higher in the last month of the year. Excuse me, December. Thought I said September. I meant December. We broke below the 200. Really just use your 200-day as your resistance moving forward on the dollar index. But again, oversold conditions. It's not the most ideal place to buy stocks because you're going to get that kind of reversal. The expectation is, I don't know if it will, I don't know when it will happen. But again, just based on overbought and oversold conditions. 10-year treasury yields still not at oversold. Again, that's where we are. VIX, I don't think I can really use VIX as overbought or oversold. But if you're looking at the lower band of RSI, yes, we are below it. And more than likely, we'll probably tag and break 1268 in December. Why do I say that? Well, let's see if I can get this going. Desktop, I'll show you guys. As always, we've been kind of talking about this all year. The S&P 500 seasonality tends to be here. See this right here? Maybe that's Thanksgiving week. Maybe that's the last week of Thanksgiving of November, and then we get a little push toward the end of the month. So and then into December. Look at December; it's just a straight shot. Pretty crazy. Even on the average year, you can see that December, November tend to be those money months. Let's just say it. So again, we're gonna be ready every day here, doing the videos every day, going over the charts with you guys, whatever it takes to get you guys prepared for the market day. That's why we're here. So again, what do I expect today personally? I do expect a little bit of sideways action, maybe a little bit of a pullback. That would be needed. That would be expected. The question is when. And again, you could be more overbought over time, overboughter, if you want to say that. That's not a guarantee of anything. Just going by historical prices, that is usually a level where we get some kind of pullback or correction. Correction is 10% from nice. That's a bad word. Just a little bit of a reprieve. That's it. 1%. I don't think you're going to get a 2% day or anything like that. 0.5% down, kind of like where we are in NASDAQ. Maybe down 100 points in the NASDAQ is a possibility. The S&P holding on 45.50. Let's see how we open, and then we'll take it from there. But do not rush. Nothing needs to be pushed. Tomorrow's a day before Thanksgiving. I don't expect many people to work or to be behind their desks or worried about stocks that day. Usually a day of travel, where everyone's traveling for Thanksgiving. So again, keep those expectations pretty low, as tomorrow is going to be basically, Christmas Eve, Thanksgiving Eve, and no one ain't doing anything. Let's be real. If you're probably working from home or working from your office and watching this video, you're probably thinking to yourself, yeah, I ain't doing anything this week. But we'll be here watching every single moment of it, and we'll keep you up to date as always on the market blog. Make sure to sign up for a description. The breakdown is in the description box below. It's early. I need coffee. Have a great rest of your morning. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the next morning note. Thank you guys for following. Thank you guys for the questions. If you like these videos, please hit the like button, subscribe, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.